Hey, the loss of purpose, the loss of identity, not being valued anymore is a real thing in retirement. That's right. And many retirees struggle with the sudden loss of structure and a sense of value. Um, when our identity and everything is tied up in our career, retirement can suffer without any kind of structure, new structure in that right direction. So a lot of retirees that fall in this trap can suffer, depression, boredom, and oftentimes regret, and they may go back to work because they don't know what to do in retirement. All they know is the work and that type of structure, and they never really adjust to the retirement phase. And it's kind of sad because it can be prevented. There's things that we could do to make that transition better. And a lot of, there's times when people can't, they're forced to retire for medical, or they lost a job and it's difficult to get a job. And then there's people who, like me, who decided to retire, and like my wife, who decided to retire and take advantage of a situation. Everybody's journey is different, and people retire for different reasons. But even no matter what it is, not being able to have a sense of purpose or identity in retirement can be really, really devastating on someone. And if you have this struggle when you retired, please tell me down below in the comments. I would love to know what you struggled with and how did you overcome, if you overcame, and what are the struggles you're dealing with now. But I figure, why not? Let's talk about what are some of the things we can do to overcome. And if for those who do not know who I am, my name is Tiger. I retired a little over a year ago. My wife just retired a couple of months ago. We're in the process of downsizing. We plan on taking everybody on our journey. Where we're going, what we're doing, how we're going to get there, we don't know. Everything's up in the air. We're downsizing. We're going to put the house on the market, and where we go from here, we don't know. And if you're new, if you haven't subscribed or give me a like, please do. I greatly appreciate it. I'm just trying to build this channel and share our adventures with everybody. Sharing is caring is a motto I've always had. So how do we overcome the loss of identity, the loss of no purpose, the loss of or not being valued anymore? And we can do this by trying to create like a retirement mission strategy. And this will kind of help us identify what our new purpose is. And I've talked about it in previous videos. You want to know what you're going to retire into. And like, I have these little checklists and stuff when I was trying to plan out my retirement years before I retired. And the first question I asked, well, what is it that I want to retire into? What is it that I want to do? I wanted to build things with wood. I want to be able to travel and do certain things. I want to try this hobby and this hobby. I had a list of things that I figured I want to get into, and I've done some of those things. There's things I still haven't done. But having a plan and trying to figure out what you want to do, what interests you, can be really, really rewarding and give you some kind of a sense of a direction once you retire. So you want to be able to know what you're going to retire into and have a sense of purpose, and just go for it. Number two would be explore mentoring, teaching, volunteering, roles aligned to your passion. So Dr. Ninja Turtle, he talked a lot about going to the local library and teaching people finances, and his YouTube talks about finances. Budgeting with Tracy on YouTube, she talks about budgeting. They have passions and want to share their experience with everybody else, like I'm sharing whatever our journey with everybody. It's a new hobby, so this is a hobby, and I would love for it to grow. But it's something that I'm trying, and if it works, it works. It doesn't, but I'm trying things. I enjoy mentoring. When I was working with Microsoft, I love teaching people. My wife loves volunteering, and we're taking those things and just trying to figure out how can we give back and do things that we really, really enjoy in retirement. So if you're good at something, check out places that you can volunteer and how can you mentor. Dr. Ninja Turtle talked about going to the library and teaching people about finances. It's great. I think that's a great idea, and I'm happy that he is doing that or helping other people with their financial journey as well. So, but sit there and think about that. Think about what is it that you're passionate about, and then maybe put that on the list. I like doing this, and this. And that could help you with your retirement mission statement. Start a new project. Number three, YouTube, blogs, memoirs, write a book, business, do a new hobby. There's things you can do. You just figure out what you can do. Hey, I'm going to learn photography and maybe sell my photography, give it away, or just do watercoloring, or it can be anything. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be anything that generates money. It could just be whatever makes you happy. Share with others. Explore different things that it's going to take more than one time to and build your craft and expand on it and share. And again, sharing is caring. The more you share, the happier you'll feel. Giving is great. It is a great way, and it shows that you care. But yeah, I started YouTube. I did. I'm writing a what do you call it, a little workbook, a retirement workbook that I use, that my friends and family tell me I need to get down and write down and share it out with everybody. I think for me, when I get done with that, I will share that out, and I'm not looking to make money off of it, but it's something that I know a lot of people can benefit from it, so why not? So that's one of my projects. Another project, like I said, YouTube. Another project what I'm kind of looking at is possibly doing a podcast with a buddy of mine, and we'll get to there if we ever get there. But yeah, there's things you could do. Number 4 would be set a weekly goal. Challenges, challenges, or challenge yourself to give yourself some kind of what do you call it? Challenge yourself, like how would I call it? Give you a goal, give you to accomplish something. To when I first retired, and I still do. I still have a calendar, a little paper calendar. My wife has that. We kind of put everything in the calendar, and I try to strive to do like to-do list for like the week or the day, and figure out what I want to accomplish. And it kind of gives me a sense of, hey, I'm actually accomplishing something, no matter how little it could be. I'll put dishes on there. I'll cut the grass, comb the dog, go get groceries. It could be little stuff. It could be major stuff. Hey, I'm gonna go work on some whittling, wood carving. Clean my RV. It could be anything, but it's a sense I can go back and check it off, and I felt I accomplished some things. So having that checklist or a sense of an accomplishment feels good in retirement. And if I don't complete all the tasks, or some of the if I don't complete them all, it's fine. I can just move it to another day. It's not that I have to get it done. It's just for me, it's just a way, like, oh, I did this and this. Oh yeah, I had an actually busy day. Lately it's been packing and downsizing, trips to the recycling center, to the dump, donating stuff and putting things in storage, and giving just this process of downsizing and prepping to get the house ready to sell. It's been very, very busy, and I have to do the checklist just to make sure my sanity. There's some things I've been putting off. I just need to get back to it, but it's fine. Nothing is. It's got to be done today. Number 5, I think, would be good, to help you overcome, is, revisit old dreams. And what I mean by that is going back, things that made you happy in the past before your career, work life took over. Revisit some of those things that brought you peace and happiness and a sense of pride and value. Revisit that, check it out, do it again. I love photography. Before, when I did photography, I picked it up as a hobby early on when I was in the military, and I love taking pictures. I had some great pictures. Didn't know what I was doing, but I was kind of learning as I was going, and I would love to get back into that. And I'd love to get back into that. But that's something that I might be revisiting here before too long. We all did things that we enjoyed, whether it was hiking, whether it was, coloring or art, playing the guitar and stuff like that. Think about the things that actually brought you joy before, your day in, day out grind. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that you still love what you did before. And if you don't, let me know. Hey, you try to pick something up that you used to love as a kid, or in your 20-something, and you went back to visit it and you didn't. Tell me. There's some things I probably ain't gonna go do, but I used to do a lot of mountain climbing. Mountain biking, and I don't think I could do that now. I probably would fall over just thinking about going downhill. But yeah, I used to do a lot of mountain biking and real extreme stuff that now if I did it, I'm pretty sure I'd break my neck. But it's some things to think about and revisit, and knowing that in retirement, like, oh yeah, I used to do that. I was really good at it. Revisiting that, you might find new love or regeneration. Getting back into it. So anyhow, those are my 5 things that I think will help overcome you with the loss of identity, the loss of value, and no longer having a purpose in retirement. And if you have suggestions and things, yeah, let me know. I greatly appreciate everybody that watches, gives me thumbs up and subscribe.